Sweet tea, we're back. And I thought that was a great idea that you and Billy had about adding some context to the upcoming episode. This one that you're going to get ready to view is about California and how it was built from scratch. And we had a lot of failures in New Jersey, not just ULC, which actually is headed in the right direction now. We had failures in New Jersey that helped us prepare for the opening and the scaling all the way across from the East Coast to the West Coast by opening up under the right leader, which was Isaac, Laura. Some of the failures were everything from the bankruptcy that I had endured, 11 years ago, and knowing that we can only spend so much money until we have to have a small return on investment. So at least we went, what did we go, like a year and a half without any kind of profit or something like that?
Probably even longer than that. I mean, if you think about it, California opened up in November, December 2018.
Yeah.
Pandemic hit, March of 2020, I want to say. So, when companies were shutting down during the pandemic, California decided to, get their boots on the ground, really help kids, help families, and, create this beautiful business company, but really beautiful culture in helping all these kids. And the cool thing was they got to learn from all the mistakes that we've made in Jersey, not just with the clinic and everything, but 18 years.
Yeah,
and then funnel all of that into being more successful quickly. So it probably took about 18 months, but then they've never turned back. So the clinic is up and running now, and it's in the right direction.
And the three big counties that they're in, Inland Empire, LA County, and Orange County, they're doing a hell of a job out there. And what was really cool was that they took Isaac literally stayed true to the 5 principles. Every single thing, like everything that we did, we've always done in our Monday meeting that some of you guys that are in. Every one of those things, Isaac replicated with starting with 2 people, Laura and Isaac, and a printer. They went into a coffee shop, started working from day one, grinding, and in the episode it talks about that. California did what we did 17 years ago by putting together a rockstar team. A rockstar team, and it was okay because we lost a lot of money, but they all were highly paid and they were the best. So that A team represented California, and they each were leaders that were paid above industry standard, like we still continue to do in New Jersey, in Maine, in California, and now in Florida, and going all the way out west towards Pennsylvania. Your A team has to be the best of the best. These have to be high quality people that show leadership qualities, that have integrity and ethics, and like the people around this fire here. So I couldn't be prouder of what they've accomplished, and they're still going.
When I look at it, yes, it's an office, but it's more the passion and the culture and everything that got us to that point to be able to afford that. Because, in the middle of it, we've dealt with the worldwide pandemic. There's been so many things that could have knocked us down, but not only did we not go down, we thrived, and that to me is kind of the trophy, so to speak, on all the hard work, and it's a representation of all the staff that have poured themselves into this, and that's what I want to tell them today, that this is, to me, when I see it, it goes about that. So all the details that go into it, it's to honor the staff that really made that happen. When we were starting BDA California, we were looking for a place to meet. We were trying to find different coffee houses and stuff like that. So we found the Gypsy Den, and Kylie and Chelsea were the first 2 staff that started. So I just, in usual fashion, I try to create some type of structure. So I scheduled some meetings, and we met here, and I showed up and I pulled out this big printer, you know, for my car, and brought it here. And they're like, I think it was Kylie. Kylie was like, "What are you doing? What is that?" I was like, "Well, it's a printer. We're gonna print data sheets and we're gonna work." And they were like, "Oh my God!" So they were really embarrassed. But since then, you know, they were like, "You and your printer walking, you know, to this place," and I told them, I said, "One day, we're going to be looking back, and that printer is going to be in our new office, and we're going to be looking back at all the things that we've done." You know, keeping in mind that back then we had 0 clients. It was just literally that conversation. But the cool thing is that now we do have operant learning center. We have an office space. We have, I think, close to 80 staff. So, you know, if they were here, I would say, remember we had that conversation? You know, look at us now. So it's cool. So the idea is like, this is a multi-purpose room, so everything's modular. We configure it for the needs of the clients, but we also have a big space, as you see, for things like today, where we could do events or we could do trainings, that's why we have the presentation table and stuff. So
I can see you
yeah,
packing your shit,
Yeah.
doing workshops.
yeah. I mean that's one of the things that we spend a lot of time trying to do. But you'll see. I mean, we have a partition and stuff, so you know, once today ends, you know, we'll put it all back together and be clinic stuff.
So the reason I ask that is, I think more and more. Again, I don't know. Things might be different here, but the more and more time you have kids in a clinic or agency setting, the more it gets harder and harder to find things for them to do, and safe things to do. And the more of this stuff you have, the better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the things that you can move out quickly and move away.
Then this is the only spot that's kind of the non-movable spot.
Yeah. No,
The space lends itself to that. So.
it's also good for the optics that the parents like, oh, you're not all business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you know, this used to be a bank, right? So this is.
and it looks so sturdy, the fucking building. You know what I mean? Like it instills
brick.
confidence in
Yeah.
something. You know, I don't know.
And then this is our.
How about that?
So dope.
It weighs
I
a
need
ton,
this in
by
my
the way.
house. This is what I.
It literally weighs a ton.
Oh my god. You swear you're not gonna lock me?
It doesn't lock.
No, it doesn't lock.
It doesn't lock.
Cement. You sure?
When Isaac first got this space, obviously we realized this used to be a bank. So this is a vault. This is a 4,500 pound door that we decided to keep in here because it's just cool. That's why.
Yeah.
When you see the finished product, wouldn't necessarily change your mind as far as it being intimidating, but when you see the finished product, there's a couch, there's a table, a couple of chairs, a little bookshelf.
Well, and I think the track lighting is going to make a big difference too, because
Yes.
it's going to be brighter.
Oh, yeah.
If you will. What you're seeing is what it looks like when all the money is out and the bank took the money out.
So that's what it looked like prior.
So ideally, what's going to happen here is custom lighting is going to be up here. There will be carpet on the floor. There will be a wood plank faux wall coming up and over, actually all the way.
So I do all of the operation side. So I do all of the scheduling. I work with Vanessa to do, when we get referrals, then I go and I talk to all the BCBAs and I say, hey, we have this referral, who wants it? The BCBA starts the FBA, then they call me and they say, okay, we need this many staff, this many hours, this city, and then I work with Fee and the recruiting team to hire the staff and bring them on. So
you make it all move.
yeah.
She runs the gears.
Yeah. So I feel like I do all the behind the scenes stuff, as well as, you know, I think we thrive on our mentorship within the Cali, I mean, the whole BDA network, but, you know, just the fact that we're all connected to like our team, and like I think there isn't a day that we're not touching base with each other or our BCBAs or even like our other staff. Like It's just a lot of phone calls.
It's interesting because we scaled, and this was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just working remote. So we would do all the meetings through Zoom or Google Meet, and we replicated a lot of processes from headquarters. So we would do kind of like a Monday meeting, but we would do it every 2 weeks, where we would meet as kind of an executive team to go over our numbers. You know, back then it was like, oh, we have 50 hours. You know, we have 3 clients, and you know, we would, in true fashion, follow the 5 laws, and we would create goals, and we'd say, you're like, let's get to 100 hours, let's get to 5 clients, and we would just kind of see things start ticking up, and pretty quickly we saw people's strengths really surface, and we were positioning people where their natural strengths were. So, you know, Laura, to my surprise, had like a passion for scheduling and logistics and stuff, which I'm still like, I don't know why you like that stuff, but it's like the whole Tetris game, right?
Puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So naturally she kind of went in that direction, and she really owned our scheduling piece and started building, you know, the caseloads and all of that. So she naturally grew in that position where others grew more clinically or whatever it was, but everybody had a role.
What was going through your head when you realized, like, I don't have any clients yet, but I need to have staff before I can get a client?
Well, so I think one of the coolest things that, there was 2 things that Brett said when those initial discussions. He said that he wanted to make this an errorless approach. So he said, bring the best. He's like, I don't care what they cost, bring the best. We'll start off with, you know, the best core staff, and we'll pay them whatever we need to pay, so we can get started on the right foot.
Yeah.
So that errorless approach was one, and then the other one is just giving us a long enough runway. And what he said at the time, he was like 2 years, you don't even need to make a profit, it's fine. You know, so essentially what he was saying is I'm going to give you a long runway to make this what it is, because it's all about the long game.
Yeah.
So those 2 things is, I think, what led to the success. The first person that I called was Laura, and I was like, hey, I just talked to this guy Brett. I'm thinking of starting something. Would you want to come aboard? You know?
Yeah.
And then
Well, that first conversation we had at the hotel in Huntington, and he's calling me and he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, Brett's here. How long will it take you to get to Rancho? And I was like, dressed like super casual, because I think it was like 100 and something degrees that day. I'm sweating, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna go meet Brett. So like I run home, change, put a dress on, head to the beach to go meet Brett. And we just started vibing, and we started talking, and not knowing that was my interview. And just by the end of the conversation, Brett was like, when are we starting? Like, when are we doing this? And like Isaac said, we started talking about bringing on like those core people that were just gonna just kill it. And we had already identified the team that we wanted. They had already heard the little bird chirping in their ears saying, hey, something's coming, sit still. And it was just fun to build that team from that moment on.
Right there is the most genuine human being, one of them that I met on this earth. And I've been to many different planets, well, in my head. Sorry, I'm not crazy. I just look crazy. I'm not as dumb as I look. I remember him in California, and I just saw the swagger. Confidence, security, steadiness, everything opposite of me. He made me feel safe. I'm serious. You know why? Because he has your back. There is nothing that Isaac will not do for you. You feel me?
So tonight we actually, it's a big night for us, because I think the culmination of all this hard work for the last 2.5 years, we have been able to get our own space finally, so we don't have to work out of coffee shops. And the cool thing is we're taking the brand out of New Jersey, the Operant Learning Center, and we're creating an Operant Learning Center in Orange County. So it's been created since April. We've been developing it, and tonight's our grand opening, so we get to celebrate. So it's going to be a cool thing. It's going to be a place for us to be able to do work and run BDA California, but it's also going to be a place for us to serve children and serve our clients. So we have the majority of the square footage is meant for clinic space, so we can see, some of the kids that we work with, and we're already starting to see that activity. So we're super excited about that. It's going to be a space that could be modular, and we could also host presentations, workshops, all the stuff that we do that is part of the DiNovi Associates brand of disseminating. I really try to incorporate that. We got some cool secret spaces in there for some special meetings and stuff that we're excited about. But yeah, we're really excited. But really tonight to me is just a representation of everybody's passion and hard work to get us to where we're at now. So to me, when I look at it, yes, it's an office, but it's more the passion and the culture and everything that got us to that point to be able to afford that. Because in the middle of it, we've dealt with the worldwide pandemic, there's been so many things that could have knocked us down, but not only did we not go down, we thrived, and that to me is kind of the trophy, so to speak, on all the hard work, and it's a representation of all the staff that have poured themselves into this, and that's what I want to tell them today, that this is, to me, when I see it, it goes about that. So all the details that go into it, it's to honor the staff that really made that happen.
Even in the last year when COVID hit, I think everybody had the mentality of failure isn't an option. We need to make this happen. And the word trophy also came up to my mind also, that we get to celebrate staff and say, hey, like our blood, sweat, tears, everything that we did this past year, like this is the outcome, like this is what we did as a team. So I'm super excited to see everyone's reaction when they walk in, and
I also think having for the last couple of months been there and organized the build-up, I think of even New Jersey staff, like when the whole idea of, hey, we're branching out to California, and even the sacrifice that you guys had to take in terms of saying okay, now resources are going to go to who's running it, what are we doing, why are we trusting this? I think of from the very beginning, I can't imagine what that conversation was like, or what people would have felt like saying we're going to go cross country and open something, and I don't know who's doing this. To honor also people that trusted, like Brett, who was a visionary in that. So to me, it's also thanking all of you guys for trusting in us building something and keeping true to the brand, because we've tried to keep what BDA stands for and just duplicate in California. That's been something that's been super important to us to do that. So before I get started, when we were building BDA California, we were meeting in a coffee shop, and it was Kylie, Chelsea, and myself before we had a client. So they used to goof on me that I would walk into this coffee shop with a big ass printer because we were going to be printing data sheets and stuff. And I told them one day we're going to be in an office, and I'm going to walk in with this frickin' printer that I'm bringing to the coffee shop, and that's how we're going to get started. So it's ceremonial to bring the little printer that could here, because that's what got us started. So yes, the printer that could. To me, this space represents more than just an office or a clinic. To me, this OLC represents the risk taken by the initial brave staff that joined BDA California when it was nothing. Vanessa, Kylie, Chelsea, Kimberly, Laura, Taylor, and then Fiorella. That wasn't part of the script, but it's all good. It works. You guys left a steady job to come join me in this company without a client, and help build what it is today. So thank you so much. It takes a lot of bravery to do this. So thank you very much for trusting, and look at us now. 2.5 years ago, we got started, and we never anticipated. I'm going to go off script. Screw this. We never anticipated that there was going to be this worldwide pandemic, right? So we had the runway that Brett gave us to build this up, not have to worry about too many things. But then the pandemic hit, and what to me this building represents is the bravery of all of our staff to keep working, persevere, the resilience that all of you had. So to me, this isn't just a building. It represents the hard work that you guys put in, because we could have easily shut down like a lot of places did. But because of the bravery that you guys showed, this to me, every screw that went into those carts that Lindsay knows, every decision that was made to put up whatever artwork there is was done to honor you guys. So this to me is almost like a trophy for you guys, and a thank you. And we'll keep on doing amazing work. But just know that every time I see this, it's not the building, it's all of you who have put the hard work and effort into doing this, and we persevered. But not only did we persevere, we tripled in size during the pandemic, again, as a credit to all of you, where we were able to offer jobs while other people were furloughing and laying people off. And one of the things I'm really proud of is not only did we not go down, we didn't have to furlough or lay anybody off that wanted to work. So to me, that was such a credit, and thank you all.
No furloughs!
I also wanted to thank our New Jersey leadership and colleagues. So I thank all of you, right? Because I think, I don't know what conversations happened when BDA California was going to start, but it also takes a lot of bravery, a lot of trust, and patience when Mr. Brett says, we're going to go to California, and there's this guy, Isaac, you know, who's like, who the F is Isaac, right? And what the hell, you know, we're 2,386 miles away. I looked it up. But we feel your support. I know I talk to many of you all the time, and we feel your support. We feel your trust in us. So thank you for trusting us. I hope we made, the emotions come. I hope we made you proud. So thank you.